Hi again then guys, and welcome to the third episode in our series Days Gone By, the review series for classic cars, both road going and race ready. And in this particular episode we're reviewing a car which has been requested possibly more than any other on the channel. Pretty much for as long as I've been doing Gran Turismo 6 videos, I've had a lot of requests for this car to be reviewed. I've done a couple of tunes for it, but never any reviews before. And there's a very specific reason for that. This car is very, very niched on Gran Turismo. There are only two vehicles in this car's category that I'm aware of featured on the game, and that is Can-Am. The only cars to my knowledge on GT6 that are in that class are this one, the Toyota 7, and the Chaparral 2J, which is also incidentally this car's main rival. The problem is, this car isn't expensive enough to be a high roller, but it's also not a Le Mans car. So as much as some of you guys would have probably liked me to have included it in the Spirit of Le Mans series to compare it to those vehicles, it's just not correct to do so. It's as different to those cars as it is similar. It does share many traits, but it's nothing like them in terms of the rules that it follows. And that's one of the reasons why people enjoy using this car so much. It has significant advantages over even the best of LMP cars. Now it costs just under 2 million credits, 1.95 million. So roughly LMP kind of money, or Group C kind of money. That's a good start. It's powered by a turbocharged 5 litre engine, mid-mounted as you'd expect, rear-wheel drive fairly obviously, and it has a relatively simple design, which is a common trait in Can-Am. The 2J itself is also a relatively simple looking car. They don't have very much in the way of livery. Both of them are predominantly white. This car has a bit of red with the Toyota logo, and that's about it. No headlights, barely even any brake lights, and that predominantly exposed back end showing off those two huge turbos. A pretty good looking car by all accounts, and although it's not a premium model, it has to be said that this car does have a really good looking interior view, almost like driving an extremely rapid go-kart. In terms of spec, that 5 litre engine can be tuned to 1170 horsepower and 778 foot-pounds of torque in peak tune. That's pretty impressive. Not as high as some of the other LMPs though. That's lower than the Peugeot 908, that's lower than the Audi R10 and a couple of others. So yes, it is extremely powerful, but not necessarily more powerful than an LMP. And its torque, although good, again is nowhere near the best of them. So why is it so popular and why is it a good car? Well, the main thing is the weight. This car is ridiculously lightweight, especially considering its engine size. A 5 litre is not a small engine, that's significantly larger than a Formula 1 car, which is the main reason why this is heavier than a Formula 1 car. It weighs 620 kilos. Now, in comparison, that's well over 100 kilos lighter than any Le Mans car on Gran Turismo in the prototype class, the Delta Wing notwithstanding. The lightest LMP compared to this is the Peugeot 905 at 750 kilos, so it's nowhere near as light as this car. Now thanks to that ultra low weight, both the PP and more specifically the power to weight ratio are astronomically high. 757 pp. That's higher than any of the other LMPs, real LMPs that is, or Group C cars, and it puts out an almost insane 1,887 horsepower per tonne. That's almost 2 horsepower per kilo, just under 1.9 in fact. That's bordering on Red Bull territory. But this isn't a Red Bull, this is a real car. Now obviously it didn't produce that power in real life, and unfortunately the car never actually raced. It was only ever a test vehicle. but on Gran Turismo you get the chance to really use that insane performance. The top speed is up there with the best of Le Mans cars at around 290, and the acceleration is phenomenally quick. As you'd expect from an older car with such a lightweight build and so much power, it is very, very inclined to wheel spin off the line. Thankfully though, the mid-range and top-end acceleration is so rapid that it more than makes up for it on most tracks. As far as handling though, that's where it can get a bit tricky. It's not a bad handling car by any means, and it can beat vehicles like the Chaparral 2J under certain circumstances with the right driver. But the handling isn't necessarily beginner friendly. It's so lightweight that actually it's almost too good. That's the problem that this car has. It's so light and so powerful that it builds speed before you even realise it. It's already going so quickly that by the time you come to a corner, you don't slow down in time. It's almost, again, like a Red Bull, the way that the game feels almost slightly sped up whenever you use that car. Now, the degree to which this car does that is obviously not the same as something like the Chaparral Laser car or a Red Bull, or certainly not a Tomahawk, but it's similar. It builds so much speed so quickly that those 1970s brakes can have a bit of trouble scrubbing it off in time. If, however, you train yourself to use the car, use it on a broad variety of tracks, anything from the Nürburgring to the Le Mans and anything in between, then you will win races. It's certainly capable of winning races, and for the money, under 2 million credits, it is a brilliant car. It's been a brilliant car ever since Gran Turismo 4 when it was introduced, and it's not hard to see why it's so popular. But that's it overall for this particular review of the 1970 Toyota 7, and I'll see you guys next time. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.